and I want to interrupt what you believe to be possible, because what we currently face is temporary, and we can all emerge better and stronger. So this is me about a year ago. I was at a training event about to go on stage. Things have changed a little bit about that since then, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But my name's Jeff Bartholomew, and I own Everest Business Coaching, and I do three things in my practice. One, I coach business owners to improve and grow their business. Two, I do training, primarily sales and communication, but also leadership, time management, and personal effectiveness. And then the third thing that I do is I sell businesses. And prior to owning this company, I was with Williams Sonoma. We launched a new brand there called West Elm Workspace. I was one of three people that helped architect that. And before that, I spent 30 years at Steelcase, where I was the director of global sales and the director of coaching and development. I also serve on the board of the business school at Georgia College. I'm the chair of the marketing department advisory board there. So this picture was taken of me, as I mentioned, a year ago. I was in Austin, Texas, about to go on stage for a big event. And this was obviously pre-pandemic, and you can see by the smile on my face, it was a happy time. And this is me today. Now, I'm being a little bit facetious, and I don't want to alarm anyone, obviously. What we're going through is serious, and we're in the midst of this global pandemic, and that's not a secret. But as a person with a degree in finance and someone that's done business all over the world, I've been listening to economists. I've been reading what economists have to say. And everything that I've heard and read is that this is a recession that will have a very fast recovery. That it's not based on poor market conditions. It's not based on poor economics. It's based on a virus. And when we think about our businesses, everyone that's on this call, when I think about Amanda and Leah and the chamber, our business is going to grow dramatically because there's pent-up demand for what we all do. So I want you to have faith that things are going to rebound quickly. And this is a fundamental question. How do you want to emerge? So let's say that we've got another 60 days of the virus. The question is, how do you want to emerge? Do you want to be the same as you are today, or do you want to emerge better and stronger? How do you want to change personally, and how do you want to change professionally? My biggest fear right now isn't about the virus. It's whether I'm going to be stronger in 60 days than I am today. Is my business going to be better off and better capable of serving my clients 60 days from now than it is right now? And I want you to think about that as well. So today I've got two key ideas I want to share. One is, how do I maintain and grow my business? And the second is, how do I in my business emerge better and stronger? So I've got a couple of ideas I wanted to share with you. So how do I maintain and grow my business? The first thing that we need to do is to remain positive. I know that a lot of us are fearful about the virus. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm less fearful about the virus and more fearful about the future of my business. And the reason that I'm so confident about that is I'm taking all the necessary precautions. I'm not spending time with anyone other than my significant other, not even my children. I'm doing social distancing at all times. I'm doing everything that you are to remain safe, and I'm confident that's going to work. But I've got to remain very positive about my. The second thing that I'm sharing with all of my clients, and several of them are online, so you've heard this before, is that my recommendation is that you don't change what you're doing, but you change how you're doing it. So I heard Amanda at the start of the call. Her business is around car repair, so people aren't coming in as much as they did before. So she's going out and they're picking up cars. So the work hasn't changed, but how they go about it is different, right? So I think that's an important thing to remember, is that I want to continue to do what I'm doing, but I have to change the way that I do it. I've got a client called EK Law. They do real estate closings. They're here in Fayette County. And they're doing virtual closings now. So as people are buying and selling homes, they're continuing to do closings. They'll do them in person, but they're capable of doing them remotely. And they think that's going to forever change their business. The other thing that I'm recommending is that you maintain contact with all of your prospects, your current clients, and past clients. So the first thing that I've done is I've reached out to all my clients, but I took a cue from one of my other clients. I have a client, Kay McEnroe, who's a realtor. Some of you know her. I know Vicki Butler, you know her. And she reached out to every one of her past clients, current and present clients, I should say, with the idea of just touching base, seeing how they're doing. Do they need anything, particularly their elderly clients? So I took that cue and I reached out to every one of my clients and I gave them an offer that I would do a no charge 45-minute consultation with them to work with them on strategies of how to overcome the virus. The other thing that some of my clients are doing are they're creating offers for their clients to take immediate action, to take advantage of this downtime to work on their business or to buy the goods and services that they provide. The other thing that I've got some clients doing is they're reaching out to markets that are hot. So markets that are hot might be grocery store chains, certain healthcare areas are hot, web developers hot, e-commerce developers are hot, people that sell exclusively online are extremely hot. How can we better serve them? How can you and your business better serve those people? So think about the markets that are hot in your community and think about how you can reach out to them. The other thing is to create content that can be shared today and repurposed later. So every month I write a blog, a 500 to 600 word blog. And the reason I do that, well, let me take a step back. Leah Rabalado from the Food Allergy Institute is on the line. And with her, we created a 12-month calendar. And in that calendar are themes for each month. So in my case, in my business, what I did was I had a theme for every month. So this was going to be Masters Month, right? Unfortunately, the tournament got canceled, or I should say delayed till November. So the theme for this month is what will you master this month, right? So I'm sticking with that theme because this is Masters Month and it's a time for us to think about what are we going to master? So that 500 to 600 word blog formed the weekly posts that I'm doing on Facebook and on LinkedIn. It's shaping the talks that I'm giving. It's shaping many of the things that I'm doing, the events that I'm hosting and so forth. So, and I can repurpose that for a later date, some of that content. The next thing is to raise your profile on social media, especially video content. Now, when you think about it, many of us are seen at a lot of networking events, and we can't do that now. So people do want to know what you're up to. What are you doing to remain sharp? What are you doing to change your business? What are you doing personally? Video content has a much greater reach, and more of those posts get open. I think it's 60% more than posts with just text. So you want to do as much video content, letting people know what you're up to in your personal life and your business life. So that's, I think, important. Next thing would be to clean up all of your to-do list. So I know that sounds basic, but one of the things that I did last week, I'm in a group called Power Core, and it's a referral networking group. And I've been saving up these slips where I said, I'm going to reach out to you and we'll have coffee. I had 17 of them. I reached out to all 17 people last week and scheduled 17 coffees with people that are potential people that could refer business to me and that I could refer business to them. So that was on my to-do list. I created my blog last week. So every week I've got a to-do list for the top 5 goals for the week. And I want to get through that list. So I've been going through and cleaning up all of my to-do list. And then finally, if you're able to give back to the community. So what I mean by that is that what we could be doing is donating time to a charity, donating money to a charity. And if you don't have the time or the money, you could highlight it um, in social media. Talk about a nonprofit that you support and that you want to help get funded by your friends on Facebook, or ask them to donate time along with you as you work at or donate your time to these nonprofits. Nonprofits are having a difficult time at the moment, so if you've got the ability to help them, it's good for you and it's good for the community. So those are some of the basic ideas around um, things that you could do to maintain and grow your business. So then the next question is, how do I and my business emerge better and stronger? So I want you to think about that 60-day window again. Let's say that the virus is gone and we've got the all clear in 60 days. How do I want me and my business to be different in 60 days? And by different, I mean better and stronger. So one way that I work with my clients is to have them think and use an idea or a concept called zero-based thinking. Zero-based thinking means if I were to start my business over from scratch, how would I shape my business? How would it be different than the way I have it today? So if you've got workarounds in your business because you've got processes that are inefficient or antiquated, then streamline those. So I want my business to be better and stronger, and one way is to use zero-based thinking. Now, you may not want to use zero-based thinking on your whole business, but you may have a product offering, a service offering, where you could take a step back and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this differently. So I'm going to use Leah Robalato again from the Food Allergy Institute. I know she's out there, and she and I spoke last week. And her primary target audience, her ideal client, are school systems where she can educate administrators on how to better support children with food allergies and how to make it a more inclusive environment for all the students, right? So schools are shut down. So what we talked about was, one, maintaining contact with all of those original ideal clients that are school administrators, but also shifting gears and trying to reach out to as many families as she can where she knows that they have food allergies and work with them directly. The benefit to that in her case is that she could turn around, or those people could turn around and lead them into the schools, into the administrators of the schools where their children attend those schools. So that's one thing. Next thing, I want to update and improve my standard operating procedures, and I recommend that you update and improve your standard operating procedures. So as we look at our business, just as an example, in my typical day prior to the virus, I'd spend 45 minutes to 90 minutes a day in my car. Now I've got that time back. I've got at least an hour of time back every day that I can devote to my business. One of the things that I'm doing in my business, or that I've already done actually, is I've changed all of the standard operating procedures. I shouldn't say changed, updated them all, and created text of how I'm going to treat all of my prospects, how I'm going to bring them into my practice, and treated. What are the things that I'm going to do? And so I've updated all of that so that I'm able to provide a higher level of quality, a higher level of service, not only today, but once the virus is behind us. And I would recommend that you look at all of your standard operating procedures and eliminate any that are unnecessary and add those that you think would improve your business. Another thing to think about is, how will my business be forever changed? Right? So again, I'm thinking about Amanda with her car repair business. And I know that in the past she would pick people up to have their car repaired because for me, but my guess is that she's doing that more than ever. And not only is it important to think about how that might change your business, is going to shape the way that our clients expect business to be done, right? So in the future, I think there are going to be some significant changes. People that are in her business are going to expect that they get their cars picked up at no charge, right? Another thing, think about restaurants. We have a local chain in Fayette County called Partners Pizza. It's been around forever. Every kid in town, it seems like, at least in Peachtree City, that play soccer or t-ball or softball, go there for their parties and so forth. They don't deliver. Well, let me correct that. They didn't deliver. Now they deliver, right? Because of the pandemic. My guess is that they're going to be delivering um, more in the future. I think upscale restaurants are going to be delivering now, where in the past they didn't think they had to. So, how will your business be forever changed? Another idea to think about is, who will your ideal clients be in the future? Are they different from the ones you have now? So, in my case, what I've come to understand is that my ideal clients, I don't believe they're going to change, but the percentage of them that I have is going to change. So, let me give you an example. The revenue for my coaching practice is about 60% in coaching and about 40% in training. And what I'm seeing is that I'm going to end up doing two things. One, that 60% is going to be more group coaching in the future, delivered via Zoom. So maybe my ideal client did shift a little. But the other thing that I want to do is I want to grow the proportion of my training to be more online. So I think I'll be able to get at more clients and smaller clients. The majority of the clients that I train now are Fortune 500 companies. So I can see doing training for, well, I've got a client up in Marietta. They're called Variux. They're an e-commerce store, or they build e-commerce stores. I'm putting all 10 of their people through online sales training. So that's an example. That's not a market that I would have been able to get at prior to this. And now that's a new, I guess you could say that's a new ideal client for me. But I also want to shift the proportion. I want to do more training in comparison to coaching. The other thing, there's a notion called sharpen the saw. And the first time I heard about it is from a book written by Stephen Covey called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And there's a gentleman on the phone, JD Holmes, who I'm guessing you've read that book. JD is someone that helped me back when I was starting my business nearly 5 years ago to get it off the ground. And we met at his office with a group of other people that were basically starting the business up. I have relationships with those people to this day. But one of the things that I took away from that meeting with him was that I need to get better every day. I can't rely on what made me successful in the past, right? So getting better every day. There was a great football coach who's passed away named Bo Schembechler, and he was a coach at Michigan, and a friend of mine played with him. And my friend wasn't a great football player. He was the third string center, so I don't know if he ever got in a game, but Coach Schembechler loved him. And this gentleman's name was Jim Hackett. He became my boss at Steelcase. And he used to tell us all the time what Bo Schembechler told him, and that was, you cannot stay the same. Every day, you're either getting better or you're getting worse, right? So I want to sharpen the saw every day, and particularly in this environment where I've got more time. Simply, if for no other reason, because I'm not traveling as much, then I've got that time to devote to getting better at certain things. So I've got 3 things that I'm working on. One, personally, I want to improve the relationships with those that I love. And that's difficult to do when I can't hug them or see them every day. So Friday night, we had a virtual cocktail party with my kids. They're adults, by the way. They're old enough to do that. And it was wonderful, right? It was a great way for all of us to be together for 2 hours. The other thing that I want to do is I want to have a leaner business, one that's capable of generating strong revenue, but taking less cash to do that. And the third thing is I want to emerge more fit. So I've got specific goals around fitness, and I'm using this time to improve my fitness. So this is the question that I have for all of you. What is the one thing, if you improved it dramatically, would transform your life or your business? What's the one thing? So I'm going to give you some ideas, but I want you to write one thing down. If you take nothing else away from today other than this notion, what is the one thing that you could improve that would transform your life or business? So you could say, well, I want to be a better leader. I want to be a better public speaker. I want to be a better salesperson. I want to be more responsive to my clients. I want to become stronger at time management. I want to be more open to feedback. I want to be a listener. I want to be better at delegation. Those are examples. Getting more fit. I've got a friend who is in the fitness business. She's health and nutrition coach, and she had a client, and the client wanted to get fit. And what was important about getting fit for her wasn't the fact that what most people would thought, oh, you want to lose weight so you look better in a bikini, or you want to look better for summer. This was a woman who had just become a grandmother, and because she was so unfit, her daughter wouldn't allow the child alone with her because she thought if something happened to the child, the grandmother wouldn't be able to take care of her. So it's important to understand why you want to do what you want to make that improvement. So when I say I want to get fit, there's much deeper meaning and a stronger why I want to get fit behind that when I say that. And I've got specific plans around how I want to do that. And as you think about that one thing that you want to improve in your business or your life, what is the why behind it? So the one assignment that I want to give everyone is to make sure that you choose one thing that between now and the next 60 days, that when we emerge from this, that you are much stronger, much better than you are today. I can't imagine waking up 60 days from now, looking in the mirror, and I don't mean looking in the mirror physically, although that's part of my plan as well, but looking myself in the eye and thinking you did nothing to improve over these last 60 days. So I hope you're thinking similarly. So I wanted to mention quickly, I've got a program called Momentum 2020. It's a group coaching program that starts the end of the month. It's an affordable way to get into group coaching. And I'm looking for 4 more people to join us. So if you're interested, let me know. But before we go, I started off with this slide, and I started off with the comment that there are 1 million Earths that would fit inside the sun, and many of you were skeptical. But I want to leave you with this. You are as powerful as you choose to be. You can wake up in 60 days and be the same, or you can choose to wake up in 60 days and be the most powerful you that there's ever been. It's entirely up to you. So if anyone would like, I'm open for a free 30-minute consultation. All you have to do is reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you with your business. It's part of what I'm doing, not only for my clients, but people in the community. If you're having difficulty getting through, if you and your business are having a difficult time, I'll be happy to talk with you. So
thank you so much, Jeff. That was a great presentation. I was over here jotting notes, and definitely some strategies that I know we'll be looking to implement on the chamber side. If anybody has questions, feel free to include that in the chat box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Several folks saying, thank you, Jeff, for a great presentation. I will give a brief pitch for you, Jeff. I have heard you speak on 2 other programs or workshops that you do, one on goal setting and one on defining your why. Both are very valuable. So if anyone on the call is interested in those things specifically, feel free to connect with Jeff offline. More praise from the folks. Thanks, great presentation. Next week, we are meeting same time, next week, 11 a.m. And we will have Monty Rayner as our presenter, and he is with Market Screamer Digital Marketing Agency, and I know he's on the call today. Monty, do you want to give a quick teaser, or would you like to, keep it a surprise for next week on what you'll be speaking on? Keep it a surprise. All right, so definitely tune in next week to find out some digital marketing strategies for your business. One of the points you made, Jeff, was do what you normally do, but change how you're doing it. That's what we're doing here at the Chamber, is we are going digital. So we're figuring out what that looks like, but it's definitely something that we're trying to learn more about. So any other questions from the folks on the call? I'm not seeing any in the chat. We certainly appreciate all of you participating. We did record the presentation this morning, so we'll get that sent out to you as well. And we appreciate everything y'all have been doing, and let us know how we can support you in the future. And with that, we will adjourn for today. Thank you, Jeff, so much.
Hey, my pleasure. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Good seeing everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Marcy. Bye, Leah.